Hi, in this video we're going to be talking about package management with Chocolatey. So if you don't know what Chocolatey is, it's a Windows package manager that automates installing, updating, and removing software from the command line. It works similarly to apt for Linux or Homebrew for macOS, but it's designed specifically for Windows environments. So instead of manually downloading installers, clicking through wizards, or visiting websites, Chocolatey lets you install applications silently using one command. So Chocolatey is most commonly used for automation, rapid deployment, IT management, and keeping software up to date with a minimal effort. All right, so we're just going to quickly go over some key aspects of Chocolatey, and then we'll go ahead and install it, and then we'll install some apps and show you how it works. All right, so first you need to see if it's installed. So you could open up a command prompt or PowerShell. Probably best to use PowerShell and then run choco-v. So if installed, you see a version number, and if not, you'll see a message such as Choco is not recognized as an internal or external command with some other stuff after that. All right, so how to install Chocolatey? So you need to do it in PowerShell, even though once it's installed, you could use the command prompt to install packages. So you need to run it as administrator, and here's the command, which I'll have down in the description. You need to have these little backticks here because this is multiple lines here, otherwise it's going to get confused. So this downloads and runs the official script, and then once it's done, close PowerShell and reopen it. All right, so Chocolatey can install any program that has a compatible package created for it in the Chocolatey community repository or your own custom repository. So we'll show you the website for the community here. So the key factor is whether a Chocolatey package exists for the software. All right, so you just run a simple command like choco install 7-zip -y. So the -y lets it install silently and says yes to all the prompts, so you don't have to do it yourself. So it will download the installer from the vendor's website, silently install it, logs everything, and keeps track of the installation. And then we have some other commands. So if you want to do an upgrade, you can do choco upgrade with the package name. If you want to update all Chocolatey apps, choco upgrade all. So this will only upgrade packages that were installed using Chocolatey. It's not going to update other apps on your computer. And then you can use it to uninstall a program with choco uninstall, and then also do a search if you want. All right, so now let's hop on a computer and try it out. All right, so before we try it out, we're here on the Chocolatey website. So you can see the packages here, such as Adobe Acrobat, Chocolatey itself, Chrome, Firefox, all kinds of stuff there. So I'll put a link for this in the description as well if you want to check that out and see what's available. All right, so we have our administrative command prompt open here. All right, so first we're going to see if Chocolatey is installed on the system with the choco-v. So here's that message. The term choco is not recognized as the name of a commandlet function and so on. So now we're going to have to install it with that long PowerShell command that we saw previously. All right, so let's clear the screen here first. All right, we'll try it out here. All right, so it's going through the installation. All right, so the installation is complete. So we'll close PowerShell and reopen it before we continue. We're going to do it as administrator. You probably don't for many of these things, but I always like to do so just to be sure. All right, so now we're going to install 7-zip. So let's make sure it's not already installed here. All right, nothing there. All right, so choco install 7-zip -y. Right, tells you where it installed it to. And then you can see the logs if you want to see the details. All right, let's go back to programs here. Now you can see we have 7-zip. All right, let's clear the screen again. All right, so now we're going to try it with the VLC media player. So obviously you're going to have to know the name of the package to install it. All right, so you can see we have some warnings here. All right, so usually these warnings are more of an informational thing rather than something you need to worry about it. And then you could also check the log if you want more information. All right, let's clear the screen again. All right, so now we're going to try the upgrade command here. So Choco upgrade all. Not sure if it's really going to help since these are new installations and probably nothing to upgrade, so we'll see what happens. All right, so 7-zip is the latest version. VLC is the latest version, so there's nothing to really do here. Okay, let's move on. All right, so now let's uninstall the VLC media players, but let's make sure it's in our apps first. All right, there's VLC media player. So Choco uninstall VLC-Y. So if you want to remove VLC.install as well, you could say yes to that. We'll say yes. Okay, successfully uninstalled, so let's confirm. You can see it just disappeared from the list as we're scrolling there. All right, let's move on. All right, so now let's search for a package to see if it's available to install via Chocolatey. So we'll do it for Firefox. So Choco search Firefox. So 115 packages found. All right, so this could be if there's multiple packages with the word Firefox or different versions. So we could try the next command here. Choco search Firefox exact. All right, so one package found there. So it looks like we could install Firefox via Chocolatey. All right, so as you can see, Chocolatey is a very powerful tool and it's actually really easy to use. So I guess the hardest part is really knowing if the package is available to install via Chocolatey. But as you can see, you could search for it to find out before you try to install it, or you could just try and simply install it, and if it finds it, it finds it. If not, it doesn't. And hopefully you don't find a package with the same name and it installs something you didn't mean to. All right, so I would definitely give this a shot and test it out and see how it works for you. All right, thanks for watching, and be sure to subscribe.